We got some trade numbers this week that really show how this region is absolutely essential in understanding the great power competition between the US and China. So here are the top line numbers: 8.3% growth in the month of September compared to the same time last year. This was well ahead of what analysts were expecting. Reuters had them for 6% growth. Bloomberg was looking at 8.1 or around 8%. So beating those expectations. This was the fastest growth in exports in 6 months. So something is going on here. Some very revealing numbers also about the dynamics of Chinese trade with the United States. And so Chinese trade fell 27% with the US. And crucially, according to the Economist Intelligence Unit, Chinese exports have now sunk to the United States by double digits for several months now, bringing the total to under 10%. That is the magic number. We saw the same thing happen in Indonesia, where U.S. exports to the U.S. are about 9.67%. And that gave Prabowo Subianto enormous policy flexibility, so much so that he felt comfortable going to Beijing for the 80th anniversary parade to be photographed next to Putin, and yet really wasn't too concerned about what the U.S. reaction would be to something like that. When you go to 10% or below, you get more policy flexibility. Whether it was by coincidence or by design, the trade war with the U.S. escalated sharply last week, knowing full well probably Xi Jinping took advantage of these numbers when he announced the very strict export controls on rare earths. Are these two things linked? We don't know, but there's a good chance that it is. And by the fact that U.S. export numbers now are at 10% and falling will give Xi much more policy flexibility to be able to take a more assertive line with the U.S., which is one of the reasons why we also might have seen a slightly more humble response from Trump over the weekend to China, saying, hey, everybody, calm down. Remember last week he said he was going to put 100% tariffs in response to the Chinese export controls on rare earths. But now we have a situation where maybe it's starting to settle in that Donald Trump doesn't have all the cards that he may have thought he had, especially now with the export volumes going down below 10%. So how is it that exports to the U.S. are going down so much, but Chinese overall exports are up?